It's now time to move on over to Who is Who. This will be led by a well-recognized gentleman in our community. His good name is Mr. Sonny Segal. He is the CIO of Montgomery County, located in Maryland. In Who's Who, we always get a chance to meet the personalities who are world famous. Let's meet one such personality, and her name is author Shabnam Samuel Takar.
Welcome to the Who's Who show. This is your host, Sonny Segal. Today, my guest is Shabnam Samuel Takar. She is a writer, coach, social media trainer, and the founder of the internationally known Panchgani Writers Retreat. Welcome, Shabnam.
Thank you,
to the
Segal.
Who's Who show.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Now, you have been writing since a very young age.
That is correct. Ever since I was a kid, I was in boarding school. We, of course, had to write letters home, and my letters were always essays. And writing for me was a way of expressing myself, because growing up in India, in the culture that I was raised in the household that I was raised in, you couldn't speak. So my best go-to option was my writing.
I see. So you learned to express yourself that way.
That is correct.
Yes, and now since, of course, you've been published, you've been highly published, can you tell us where all you've been published?
Well, I've been published in a couple of magazines. One is called Brainchild Magazine, the other is Your Tango, and some cultural magazines. My book, I just finished writing a book.
Oh, I see.
It's a memoir called A Fractured Life. And I have an offer from a publisher. I just got the offer last month in July.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Like with everything, I think it was easier to write a book, but with the publishing world, there's so much in there that you need to research and find out. So I'm still negotiating the finer points with them. So hopefully by the end of the year I'll have an answer, and then once we go into production, it should be coming out between fall and winter of 2018.
I see. So what motivated you to write a memoir?
My memoir, it sounds cliched when I say my life, but that's the truth, because growing up, I didn't have an identity. I was there, just a person. People didn't know me as this one's daughter or that one's child. It was just she's there.
Yes.
So that took a toll on me while growing up. And it was an experience that I wanted to share with other people, because I know there are women like me out there, there are young girls like me out there who go through something similar that I went through but have no voice. So I want to show them that they're not alone, that there's always light, even though as dark as it may seem, there's always light.
Wow, what a strong message that is. Thank you for sharing. Now I really want to read the book when it comes out. And now I understand that you are actually doing more than writing right now. You have a regular career. Is that right?
I do. I do work for a healthcare organization. That's my day job. It's my profession. I don't call it my passion. Writing is my passion. But I also mentor in the evenings. I mentor with the organization called Empowered Women International out of Virginia. I'm a mentor and a coach with them for their empowering women. They work with refugees, low-income people who've been traumatized by maybe war, trafficking. So they come here, and then we mentor them on their business ideas that they might have, how to set up a business, how to get a loan, logo designing, social media, anything that they want help with. It's a structured 6 weeks program that we do with them.
I see. And then you have had success stories where
Absolutely.
It has actually launched new lives and
It
careers.
has. It is amazing how people's lives have changed. In fact, my first guest on this show was one of my mentees from 3 years ago, and she has successfully launched her own business and is now, a businesswoman of her own.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yes.
so this is, of course, most wonderful that you're giving in this way to a very large number of people who may be affected or who may feel the need for direction, for mentorship,
True.
Coaching.
True. And like they say, when there's famine in your life, you look for something. So, there's famine in a lot of people's lives, and we just have to find what it is they're missing and be there to support them.
Mm-hmm. Well, earlier I mentioned that you have a writer's retreat in India.
Correct.
Can you tell me about that, because it has become very famous? I see that on the web.
Yes, it has. We launched it in 2015. We hold it in Panchgani, India, which is in Maharashtra.
I see.
My husband's family they run a 99-year-old boarding school there called Sanjeevan, and that's why it's on 28 acres of green acreage, open fields and quiet and silence. So we run it there every October when the kids are away for Diwali. What we do there is we have yoga, meditation, writing workshops. We have incorporated creativity and wellness with Ayurvedic teachings and food. So that's what we do. It's a combination of things.
And how long is that retreat?
It's for 7 days.
7 days.
7 days,
I
yes.
see.
And
So it's total immersion. It's
absolute immersion.
Perhaps, disconnected, so to speak, and being there, imagining, visioning, and expressing, that kind of thing.
In a lot of ways, because you're cut off from the mainstream of life. You don't have to do anything. People, your food is cooked, your bed tea is brought to you. All you have to do is get up and show up for your work and talk to like-minded people, discuss your work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So that's what
wonderful.
we do. It is. You should
Yes.
try it someday.
And Panchgani, you said it's in Maharashtra. Where, close to which large city should we
Pune.
say?
Pune, what they
yes.
call it now, is the closest city. It's about, I would say, 3 hours from Pune, and it's up the ghats. You go Lonavala, Khandala, and then you come to Panchgani, and it's beautiful up
And the
there.
Western Ghats of India are known for their beauty.
Correct,
Yes.
correct.
And the
Correct.
Ghats, of course, being undulating, mountainous.
Yes. It's a beautiful
countryside
ride up
and
there.
very green and
Yes.
lush. Yes.
And
That's
we-
where most of the resorts are too, I've found out.
There, you're right, and a lot of Hindi movies, Bollywood movies, have been shot there. So yes,
Yes, this is most interesting. And now, while there, you are actually engaged in yet another endeavor of large impact.
correct. It was actually it's called the Women's Empowerment Initiative Program. It was started by my aunt-in-law, who's the chairman of the school, Sanjeevan. She started working with these village women about 15 or 20 years ago, just helping them, carve out a niche for themselves, a little livelihood. They're all, that's a whole farming belt. So the husbands are mostly farmers who go out into the fields, and then they come home with their cash crops and have the cash, and half of it is spent drinking. So the women are left bereft with nothing to do. So my aunt-in-law went in there and she started, they gave them recycled material like old saris. So they made pillowcases out of it, curtains out of it, and then they sold it back to the school so that the school could use it in their dorms. So what I did with them when we started the retreat, we order our quilts and our curtains and pillowcases every year through them, so that way they can make some money and we can showcase their products. And last year we started having them make like little computer bags and getting what we use these days, cell phone cases.
Yeah.
And so they do all of that, and they've also shipped to the US. So we've started a cooperative for them, so they do that. And then last year the school Sanjeevan also started a moving library for them.
I see.
So the
How
kids,
does that work?
it's wonderful. I mean, the kids
Meaning
just,
it's like a mobile
it's a mobile library. The van goes with books where they sit, the women come and read whatever little they know, the kids read, and they have magazines. So it's really working well. And then they found a little independence for themselves, so they like that. They don't have to go someplace with their husbands. This is set up in the middle of the village near the temple, so they all come there. So
it's central, it's convenient
yes.
to them. Tell me a little bit more about the Panchgani Writers Retreat. How does one enroll in it? Is it a selective process? Is it a
No.
pay-as-you-go process?
No, it's not. We don't want to restrict anybody. There is of course a fee to join, because we bring professionals to teach, to do workshops. So all the information is on my website, which is panchkanirwritersretreat.com. You can register there, come there. All you have to do is show up in India, whatever international airport you're coming to. Mumbai typically Mumbai. So as soon as you land in Mumbai, we pick you up there, and you don't have to worry about anything till we drop you off.
Oh, wow.
So it's all taken
And
care
it's
of.
all inclusive.
It's all
lodging,
inclusive. Yes. 7
meals.
days of food.
Yes.
We go sightseeing. We have workshops. You want extra help with something, we do that. This year we are trying to bring in some publishers like HarperCollins to come and talk to, people who have manuscripts and want to know what to do with it.
Right, and then
So
what they're looking for.
then what
the big
correct.
publishers are looking for.
Correct.
So what are the age ranges typically of the participants, and do they have to have prior writing experience, or just the urge or the need to express themselves that way?
Just the urge and the need. Actually, I had an artist who came. They didn't write, but they do photography, and so they just wanted to come for that because Panchkani saw pictures right after the rains. So they came for that, and then they discovered that with our workshops, we give you something to ponder about, and then we say, write about it and let's talk about it. So this person turned up writing haiku. So now he's combined his poetry and his haiku with his photographs, and he just had an exhibition in Bangalore actually.
Wow.
So you don't have to come with writing experience, you just have to come with the urge to learn something or to be creative about something. That's all you need.
Wow, that gives me encouragement, and I'm sure our viewers find that very encouraging too. In other words, they want to write. They don't know where to meet up with other writers, get some instruction, and then most of all, like you said, where to take their works, meaning from there, after they become meaningful and they are properly packaged and reviewed, peer reviewed, however. Is that how it works?
Absolutely. Editing, and it's a whole process, and I just learned so much with my book in the last 2 years. I mean, it's not as simple as one thing. Everybody asks me, when is your book coming out? Yeah, I finished writing it, but there's a process, so it does take time.
I see. Just to ask you if it's going to be on Amazon, or is it too early to say?
It definitely will be on Amazon because that's the way everybody is going, but it'll first be in soft copy and hard copy, and then it'll go online.
I see.
But the books will be available hopefully on Amazon.
Okay, we'll look forward to that. So what are your future plans now, of course, having shared with us all these big achievements? What are your plans now for the future?
Well, I do want to take my book on a talking tour. What it means is just reaching out to like-minded women, or somebody who has been through what I've been through, or just wants to know or wants to share their experiences of being a woman, empowering women. So just doing the talking circuit with my book, that's what I look forward to.
I see. And have you considered being on media such as on YouTube or TED Talks, talking about the subject itself, and then of course about the book and some other ways that the organization works, the Empowered Women International works?
Right. I do have a TED Talk. I'm hoping it comes up sometime in September. So it's in Herndon, Virginia, so I'm hoping that comes out. But definitely, yes, I would like to talk. I would like to spread the message and just go wherever the book takes me and wherever my heart leads me with the book.
I see. Oh, this is wonderful. And have you worked with local government at all, in the region, to connect up with other programs?
I haven't actually. I haven't really thought about that. I don't know what that would take. Or I've worked with the local governments in my other life, but not as a writer. I wouldn't know what to do if
I see.
Where to take it. But I'll love to explore the options.
Yes, like I'm aware that some of the county governments have like Commission for Women.
Yes.
And then they have programs
Right,
in
right.
partnership with the private sector.
Okay, I'll look into that. I am a member of the Maryland Women Counties Commission,
Okay.
and we have a Frederick chapter, but I haven't really talked to them about the book.
Okay.
So,
Well, thank you for everything you're doing
thank you so
in
much.
this very important area, and all the best for your new book. And we look forward to its release, and look for you on TED Talks and the other places like Tango Your Tango.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Sal.
being on the show.
Thank
Shabna.
you.
This is your host, Sunny Segal, signing off on the Who's Who show on the Capitol Forum. I look forward to seeing you next month at the same place and the same time.